Right, guys, we're moving on with the accounting. And yes, what I want to do here is, just before I go on to my creditors recon, I just want to show you something very quickly. When you are dealing with your creditors recon, right? Remember, there are two types of creditors recons that are examinable. One is the internal one. And what is this one here? You are reconciling your creditors control account with your creditors list. Okay? So remember, that's done internally with our records. Because remember, when dealing with creditors, we're dealing with the triple entry principle. Yes, that's right. You heard correct. The triple entry principle. Why? Your double entry in your general ledger, for example, here, your double entry, debit, credit, and a single entry in your list, right? Where, for example, if you buy goods on credit, you are debiting trading stock, crediting your creditors control, and crediting your individual creditor. So yes, we are reconciling our creditors control account with our creditors list. That's internal. But you also get an external creditors recon. What is that? You are reconciling the creditors ledger account as it appears in our books with the statement that you are receiving from our creditor. Remember, that's the external one where you're reconciling your ledger account of your creditor in your creditor's ledger with the statement that's coming from your creditor. And obviously, the idea is to reconcile. Remember, reconcile, bring together. Okay, so therefore, if we look at this one here, we are told that we're dealing with the creditor's reconciliation statement and the balance of future traders in the creditor's ledger of generation suppliers is 21,130. That's according to our records. We are owing them 21,130. And the balance on the statement received from future traders, they are saying, sorry guys, you are owing us 32,600. So clearly there's a discrepancy. Clearly a reconciliation is necessary. Okay, now we find out that what's the reason for the discrepancy. Let's look at the first one. A, an invoice for 13,300 received from future traders was correctly recorded in the creditor's ledger. Now here, what is critical when you're doing this recon? Firstly, talk to yourself. Yes, in accounting you need to be mad. Obviously in an exam you're not going to scream out, but talk to yourself. Ask yourself, where has the error been made? The error has been made by in this case here, the creditor's ledger is correct. So the error has been made in the statement. So immediately you know that the ledger is correct. The statement has a problem with it. We need to sort out the statement. So let's do that. The amount was incorrectly recorded as 11,200. Where? On the statement. So therefore, guys, watch. Ledger is correct, so you don't do anything with it. Obviously, you start off with the two balances that were given to you. Actually, it's pre-populated on your answer book. Now you come here and say, fine. In this particular one, the error was on my statement. So I come to my statement. It was supposed to be 13,300, as you can see, but they only recorded 11,200, so I must increase it. That operation is very, very important. It's a plus 2,100. Because if you got the operation wrong, then your calculation is going to be wrong. So because the invoice was understated by the company, they must increase their amount by 2,100. And therefore, you can see plus 2,100 where? In the statement, because the error was made on the statement. Okay, let's go back. Number 2, generation suppliers entered a 10% discount. Now remember, we are generation suppliers. We're dealing with our creditor who is future traders. You need to identify that so you know who's making the error, right? Relating to a payment of 3,000 Rand, that was made on the 19th of February. Future traders did not approve the discount, stating that the payment was received late. So what have we done? We've taken the discount, how much? Of 10% based on the payment of 3,000 Rand. So clearly 10% of 3,000 Rand will be 300 Rand. We claimed the discount, guys. We said, we're taking it off. We don't owe you, we've paid you. They said, sorry, you paid us late. You're not entitled to that discount. So obviously, who has to correct? Their books are correct. Ours is incorrect. Therefore, go to your creditor's ledger, right? Our account is incorrect. Remember, we subtracted the 300 Rand from when we claim the discount. Now what do? We edit back. Therefore, plus 300 to indicate we're reconciling. We're saying, okay, fine, you haven't given us the discount. We'll edit back into our records. Remember, we made the mistake, so we must fix it. There's the plus 300 Rand in our books, in our ledger, in the account of future traders. The next one, number C, we are told that goods returned. Obviously, we returned the goods. How much? 500 Rand appeared on the statement received. The bookkeeper of generation suppliers forgot to record this transaction. Clearly, you can see that once again, we returned goods. The statement is showing that the goods have been returned. They've done the necessary entry. We did not record that entry. We must now record that entry. The error is in our books. Therefore, we record the entry. What did we do? Goods was returned, meaning we owe the creditor less, minus 500 Rand. What are we reconciling, guys? Let's just get it in our heads. We're reconciling the creditor's ledger account as it appears in our books. With what? With the statement that is being received from the creditor. It's an external creditor's recon. Okay. So if an external creditor's recon appears in tomorrow's paper, I'm sure you're going to ace it, isn't it? Well done. Okay, next one. D, a purchase of 3035 from future traders. These were recorded as a debit note in the creditor's ledger account. First question that you ask yourself, who has made the error? Clearly, we have made the error. What did we do? We recorded it as a debit note instead of a purchase. That means, now watch this here. This one is very important. We recorded as if we had returned goods to them. So in other words, the initial entry that we did is we reduced the account by 3035, right? So what did we do? We subtracted 3035 from the account, indicating that we returned goods to future traders. But that was not the case. We had in fact bought goods from future traders. Now watch. Because we had reduced the account initially by 3035, this is the error, guys. I'm showing you the error that was initially made. How do we correct it? By simply putting in a plus 3035 one time, you're basically just cancelling out the error. So therefore, because it was an incorrect credit, remember, we reduced the amount that we were owing to our creditor. Right? Let me repeat that. Because we had reduced the amount we were owing to our creditor by 3035, if we just increase it by 3035, we're simply cancelling out the error. So what do we have to do? We have to double it to ensure that it has the desired effect. There's it. So now it will show that a minus 3035. Now remember, guys, you don't have to do this one here. I'm just showing you that for explanatory purposes. Initially, we had reduced that amount by 3035, but now what we are doing, we are increasing it by plus 6070, so it will then have the necessary effect of increasing the ledger by 3035. Please understand this one very, very carefully. Right, the next one. E, a direct transfer, that means an EFT. We used an EFT. We paid them how much? 7,000 Rand. We recorded it in our cash payments journal. And we had a discount of 700 Rand for early payment was also recorded. Okay? The statement of account from future traders was dated the 25th of February. Now clearly, if you have received the statement on the 25th of February, then all the transactions processed after the 25th of February would not be reflected on the statements. Clearly, guys, you're sitting with the statement in your possession. Entries that you've entered into after the 25th will not be on the statement. Therefore, you update the statement. What have we done? We've paid them. How much have we paid them? We paid them 7,000 Rand. But that's not all. We also claimed a discount of 700 Rand for early settlement of the account. Therefore, let's go to our correction and let's see what we do. Here we go. We paid them the 7,000 Rand plus the discount of 7,700. In other words, we reduced our account by 7,700. What do you do now? You take the 32,600 plus 2,100 minus 77 and you get a figure of 27,000 Rand. You take the 21,130 plus 300 minus 500 plus 6070 will give you 27,000 Rand. Voila! What have we done? We have reconciled the statement that we have received from our creditor with their account as it appears in our ledger. Remember, guys, just to recap and to make you once again aware of what we spoke about here, this creditors recon is an external creditors recon where we are reconciling the ledger account in our books with the statement that we are receiving. Almost akin to a bank statement, same principle, right? Then you also get an internal creditors recon where we are reconciling our creditors control account in the general ledger with the creditors list as per our creditors ledger. Can you see? This one is totally internal. Clear? Okay. Okay, we spoke about this earlier on, and here's a question that says, the reconciliation of the creditors control account and the creditors list is a means of it's an internal control measure, right? We know that, to ensure what? No errors have been made and that the creditor is paid the correct amount and the correct discount is received. Remember, if we settle our accounts timeously, then obviously we'll be entitled to claim that discount. But if we don't do that because of an error, then certainly we will not be entitled to that discount because we're not settling the account timeously. It will also assist the business in detecting errors or omissions in our books. There may be an error in the list or in the control account. It will show errors in the statements that are being received. Obviously, that's the external one when we're dealing with the external creditors recon. And also, we can detect fraudulent activities and take action. So all of this forms part and parcel of our internal control when it comes to our creditors.